Okay, so we're back from Syria, and we have ourselves a lens. Now, let us return to Montfaucon. I know exactly where to use said lens. Lazy policeman is still there. Let's go back into the cathedral. Where there is someone new we can talk to.
A priest stood by the pews, energetically polishing something.
Okay. Man, that Catholic Church, at it again.
Excuse me, Father.
Oh,
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
just a candlestick.
Not at all, monsieur. It will be my pleasure to help you.
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church, then.
Just a little.
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
You have come to the right place, if that is your interest. Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to France.
Well, the Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
You must be proud to have such an incredible collection of stained glass.
Pride is a sin, monsieur, but it is hard not to marvel when the light shines through them. It is a fine example of the artisan's genius.
Have you seen this man before?
No, I have never seen him before.
Have you ever heard of this guy?
No, monsieur, I'm afraid not. Is he a friend?
Not really. More of an acquaintance.
Let's let him have a look at our lens.
Have you ever seen anything like this lens?
No, never. The glass seems subtly colored in some way.
Yeah, I've never noticed that before.
And of course,
I thought about using the shake and shock on him, but I couldn't do that to a priest.
aw, come on. Come on. Ah,
Catch you later.
Au revoir,
disappointing.
monsieur.
Oh well. We've got this statue here holding this scroll.
A statue of a knight holding a staff and a scroll. The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well. Per disciplinum meum lux videbis. A bit of a stained glass window. Wow! Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary had been pretty optimistic, I guess.
So, who else has kind of guessed what we're going to do? That's right, we're going to take our lens and we're going to slot it into the scroll.
The lens fitted into the end of the scroll like a hand into a glove. Hey! A Knight Templar burning at the stake, and a date. Let me see. MCCC-XIV. That's 1314.
So, I'm unsure as to how exactly that's supposed to work, so I'm guessing the lens somehow turns this right side chunk of the stained glass window into a completely different image. Now, I'm not saying that would be impossible. I'm sure you could come up with a way of causing that kind of a optical illusion.
A date.
But I've got a feeling you're going to need something a bit more than just a, you know, a tinted lens. But it's a video game. It's a, you know, it's a video game. Try not to look at it too hard. So, we've used our lens, we no longer have it. We went all the way to Syria to grab that lens just so we can solve this relatively simple puzzle. And now it's gone, it's useless, we don't need it anymore. Gee, I hope that clue turns out to be really useful later on. So we went to an awful lot of trouble to get that. To get that date, 1314. Anyway. Next, let us return once again to the museum. Just examine the glass case.
The case was empty.
Aha.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
What's with the long face?
Haven't you heard? The tripod was stolen.
No kidding.
I just don't get it. So many other treasures, and the thieves choose the tripod.
A modern-day alchemist, perhaps?
Who knows? There's no shortage of crazies in Paris. Hey, I visited Nicole's apartment.
Yeah, she told me you came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
I hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course. Where have you been? Nicole said you were away.
I just returned from Syria.
Syria? On the trail of the Templars?
It's a long story, but I found the bull's head. It was referred to on the manuscript, remember?
Yes, what is it?
A secret cave built into a high cliff face. In the cave, I discovered a map bearing a phrase in Latin. In occidenta sita est in ora mundi.
The island of Britain.
Lies at the edge of the world, to the west.
Strange. That map seems to contain a series of pointers.
Like I said, it's a treasure map. What did you make of the manuscript?
It dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
What story does the manuscript tell?
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
Oh, oui, pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem. The tourist trade is nothing new, you know. It's been around for centuries. Ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
Have you deciphered any of the images on the manuscript?
There's very little I can be sure about. The slang of the bull could be a reference to Mithras.
Who's he?
A Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
How can you tell that?
The writing on the shield, the reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have borne a coat of arms like that.
Can you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, Georgie. He's a member of the Vasconcellos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No, they're not mentioned after the 15th century.
Oh.
The spotlight of history moved on. They're probably long dead.
Do you think the manuscript could be the map to the Templar treasure?
Frankly, no. That's too far-fetched. The manuscript is interesting enough and a rare find, but that's all.
Wouldn't it be terrific if it was a map, though? The treasure of the Knights Templar.
A romantic notion, Georgie, but extremely improbable.
Well, I think we've learned all we need to learn from him.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
So, Spain, eh? And he reckons the family that the reference on the scroll is tied to is probably long dead. Well, there's only one way to find out. We dig deep into George's bank account once again and get on yet another plane, this time to Spain.
I'm no student of architecture, but the little building looked old. I wondered if it was some sort of summer house. There was a crotchety old guy watering the lawn. If this garden was all his own work, he was more capable than he looked.
Let's talk to the gardener.
Hi, is this the Vasconcellos house?
Who wants to know?
I could tell the old coot was going to be trouble. My name's George Stobart. I was wondering whether...
The house is not open to the public.
This is the Vasconcellos house.
And what business is that of yours, senor?
Look, all I want is to speak to the head of the household.
There is no household. Only the Countess and myself.
Tell me about the Countess de Vasconcellos.
She doesn't receive guests. That's all you need to know.
You don't even know what I have to talk to her about.
She hasn't won the lottery, has she?
This guy seems sketchy, so I'm going to assume he's asking me a trick question.
No, she hasn't won the lottery.
A more cunning man might have claimed that she had.
Oh yeah? They might have, might they?
And that more cunning man would have been kicked off the premises. The Countess doesn't do the lottery.
Ha. Called the guy's bluff.
What do you know about the Templars?
Who wants to know?
Are you angling for a bribe or something?
You have nothing that I want, senor, except the pleasure of your absence.
The guy was obviously protecting the Countess against the whole world. But why? Do you recognize this man?
No,
Would you like to shake hands?
I do not think so, senor.
Aw. Oh well.
Okay. Well, I'll see you around.
Adios.
The main part of the house was old, but nowhere near as old as the gatehouse section. It was then I realized I'd left home without my pocket siege engine.
Seems that path is overgrown with bushes and thickets. Let's just walk in the house. He's not even looking at us. He's got his back turned.
Hey, you.
Speak of the devil.
What is it?
You would not like it if people just wandered into your home, would you?
Well, no, I guess not.
Then show a little consideration.
Okay. Sorry.
And it's really fortunate that all the people we encounter in these foreign countries we go to all know really good English. I'm sure George wouldn't fucking get anywhere if he had to learn the local language.
The hose ran from some sort of utility room all the way to the lawn. I didn't like the idea of carrying 30 yards of hose around me, so I left it alone.
We need a way distracting the gardener so we can get in the house. Let's walk over here. Okay.
From a distance, I thought it might be a summer house. Close up, I wasn't so sure. The statue on the top of the building looked like the one in the Parisian church. He seemed to be looking out to sea. For what? I wasn't about to go clambering on rooftops if I didn't have to.
Oh, come on. Live a little.
Over the doorway was a statue of a hooded figure bearing a cross. It looked kind of sinister. Rats. It's locked.
Nuts. Oh well. We just sabotaged that man's hose. However, we can't get to the tap, because the tap seems to be inside the house. So, we need a way cutting off the water supply to the hose without being able to get to the tap. We don't have any knives or scissors on us, so we can't cut the hose. But we do have this blood pressure gauge. Now I doubt an actual blood pressure gauge would have the necessary pressure to be able to do this, but once again, it's an adventure game. It doesn't really matter. The theory just needs to work.
My horse has stopped.
Yeah?
See, my horse never stops.
Well, I'm sorry to hear it. It's always sad when an old tradition comes to an end.
Did you have anything to do with it? See, you.
Well, I'm shocked. I'm mortified. How could you think such a thing?
Very easily, senor. Very easily. I'm going to find out why my horse has stopped. And that means going into the house. You are not, absolutely not, to go in the house. If you do go in the house, I will set the dogs on you.
Let's go in the house. Screw him and his dogs.
Must have been traveling pretty fast when he hit the wall. I love suits of armor. Who doesn't?
I love suits of armor too. Let's go down here. Uh-oh. Hide.
I hid behind the armor and waited for developments.
Hey, you! I know you are there, American. All right, you dogs, I'm coming.
Okay, great, we've distracted him. Let's go in this little side room he was in.
It was just a little utility room with no exit, unless you counted the window, and I didn't. There was a big aspidistra sitting on a table in the hall.
Let's go upstairs.
Madre Dios, who are you?
My name's George Stobart. I'm sorry to burst in like this.
You must leave at once. You're not wanted here.
Please, if you'd just listen a minute.
Very well. State your business, Senor Stobart.
There's been a series of murders, part of some conspiracy. Anyway, the trail led me here.
Here? There is nothing for the outside world here.
Over 600 years ago there was.
What do you mean?
This whole thing ties in somehow with the Knights Templar.
The Knights Templar are dust.
They had a secret that was so important, they went to a lot of trouble to hide it.
I do not see what this has to do with my family.
Your family had a strong connection with the Templars, right? I believe that they have planted some clues here.
Why should I believe a complete stranger who barges into my home?
She has a point.
Just let me have a look around. If I find nothing...
You'll be spending the night at the police station. Very well. Please, sit down.
Thank you.
Oh, we've got one chance to convince her. So I think we all know what we need to do first.
Would you like to shake hands?
A formal bow will suffice.
Ah. Oh well.
I know your family is involved with the Templars, but I don't know how.
You should be asking how my family were involved, Senor Stobart. The Templars ceased to exist centuries ago. And as for the Vasconcellos, the line dies with me.
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Okay, whatever happened, happened almost 700 years ago. So, if the Templars left any clues, they're going to be in stuff that dates back to the early 14th century.
Obviously.
So, what do you have around here that's early medieval?
Early medieval.
Yes, tell me so I can steal it.
Well, the house is relatively modern, a scant 3 centuries old. Or, of course, the chess set.
That chess set is over 600 years old? It must be worth a fortune.
Indeed it is. Not that I would part with it, of course.
No, I wouldn't either. That's the sort of thing that gets handed down to your children. Sorry.
Its value is less than you might think. The set is not complete. One of the pieces is a modern replacement. As to the original, it was lost a long time ago.
Nobody has any idea where it is?
No. The children had it when they were taken.
Children? What children?
All in good time, Senor Stobart.
May I examine the chess set?
Certainly. But do not move any of the pieces.
Okay, thanks. Close up, the modern piece stood out like a sore thumb. There was something else odd about the set. All of the original pieces had irregular bases.
Oh.
My lady, I have to warn you, there's a...
Oh shit.
You! Why, I'll feed you to the dogs.
Lopez, what have I told you about feeding intruders to the dogs?
But, my lady...
Never without my permission. Senor Stobart, if I find that you're wasting my time, you will be fed to the dogs. Now, I want to show you something interesting. Follow me. Lopez, unlock the door, por favor. This is the only remaining structure on the estate contemporary with the Templars.
Nice. What is it, a summer house?
A mausoleum, Senor Stobart.
Oh,
Come with me.
Hey, senor.
yeah?
I do not know what you have told my lady to be shown these favors, but I do not trust you.
You've got nothing to worry about. Aren't you coming in?
No, the dead do not interest me. My garden is a living thing. I will be there.
Wow, this is old.
Cozy.
Constructed in the 13th century as the final resting place for the Vasconcellos Templars.
It's well maintained.
These are my ancestors, and they deserve respect. I come here at least once a week to say a prayer for them.
Mind if I have a look around?
By all means.
The mausoleum contained 5 tombs for 5 of the Knights Templar, man-size in marble. I wasn't about to start heaving at sarcophagus lids with the Countess standing there. The mausoleum contained for 5 man-size in marble.
I'm guessing he says the same thing, all 5, so... Well?
Hanging from the ceiling was a huge yellowed candle. It looked really old and had never been lit. High up in the dome were windows. I guessed they might open them to make it less stuffy in there. It was a rod with a cone and a hook on the end. I guessed it was for snuffing out the big candle in the chandelier. A big statuette of the Virgin Mary kept an eye on the place. It was too delicate to move. In front of the shrine was a lectern with a Bible on it. On removing the Bible, I found a pattern on the lectern top. Hey, it's a checkerboard! Close up, I could see that the pattern was made up of glass squares over a checkerboard pattern. Some of the squares had little jagged holes in the middle.
You don't say. Can I do anything with this pole?
Now what? There was nothing to snuff. Feeling like an idiot, I put it down again. I couldn't reach up there. May I ask you something?
You may ask.
You certainly know your history.
What's your opinion of the Templars, Senor Stobart?
The Templars? Well, they seem no worse than a lot of the knightly orders.
You are mistaken. Compared to the simpering politicians of the Hospitallers or the brutish Teutonics, the Knights Templar were the embodiment of chivalry. The filthy, money-grabbing French king and his pet pope did a great wrong. A bane settled upon my family at the whim of that self-seeking tyrant.
It was all a long time ago.
Some things don't die. Injustice is one of them.
Who exactly are these people?
My ancestors. These 5 men were all members of the Templars.
5 ancestors in the order. You must be very proud.
Not 5, 6.
Where's the 6th knight?
He was lost to us.
You lost an ancestor?
It is a family matter. It can have no relevance.
Well, it's connected with the curse of the Vasconcellos, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I hope you will honor my desire not to talk about it.
Okay, well, I'll leave it for now.
Clearly there's some bad blood there. She doesn't want to talk about it.
That's a big candle. Where would you buy a thing like that from?
You could not. It is an antique, unique to my knowledge.
Just how old is it?
It dates from the Middle Ages, when the Moors controlled Spain. The candle was to be lit as a signal to the estate workers if the Moors attacked.
Is the Virgin Mary really the right person to be sharing a mausoleum with 5 knights?
You are showing your ignorance, Senor Stobart. The Templars were dedicated to the Virgin Mary.
What's the story with the glass chessboard?
Glass chessboard. Oh, the pattern on the lectern, purely decorative, I'm sure.
There are pieces of glass missing from it.
Oh, it has been like that since I was a girl.
The gaps in the glass chessboard look awfully deliberate.
No, it is ridiculous. What possible significance can it have?
It's part of a chessboard, and the gaps are for...
Senor Stobart, you cannot mean...
This place was built for the Templars. Your chess set is as old as the Templars. It's kind of suggestive, isn't it? I think this must be it. This is what the manuscript is pointing to.
This is extraordinary. Am I to understand that the Templars left a puzzle here? And in all of this time we failed to realize that there was a puzzle?
It was wonderful to watch the Countess change before my eyes.
Right. Well, no time for wallowing in self-pity, eh, Senor Stobart? This mystery has had a good long run, but it ends here and now.
All those years of fatalism were falling away from her.
Lopez! Lopez! Put that hose down and listen! Go to the house and get my chess set. Yes, the old chess set! Oh, damn the game! Now hurry! My, this is exciting, is it not?
Don't get too excited. This could be a blind alley.
Oh, I do not believe that for a moment.
It's good to see you happy.
Happy? You know, I think I am.
Well, things are certainly moving.
While we're waiting, I'd really like to know what happened here. I mean, the curse and everything?
It all began at the time of the dissolution of the Templars. Don Carlos had already left their ranks to become a scholar.
Don Carlos, is he the guy who went missing?
Si, but he had reckoned without the local bishop. Their bishop envied us our lands and determined to use the papal edict as an excuse to destroy us. Don Carlos was on one of his scholarly journeys when the Inquisition arrived. When Don Carlos returned, it was to find his loyal manservant slain and his children gone.
They took the kids? But why?
Oh, we will never know. The bishop denied all knowledge of the children's disappearance. But witnesses had seen his men kill the servant who had been charged to protect them.
What happened to Don Carlos?
He swore he'd find his children if he had to go to the edge of the world. He put on his armor and took up his sword and shield and rode out alone. He was never seen again. Ah, Lopez, you have the pieces.
Si, my lady, as you asked.
Por favor, Senor Stobart, would you be so kind?
My lady.
Calm yourself, Lopez. I believe Senor Stobart's motives are pure.
Very well, my lady. My lady seems to trust you.
But you don't.
No, senor.
It fits, Senor Stobart. It fits.
Working quickly, I found which pieces went into which holes.
Right. So, this is another staple of adventure games, the chess puzzle. So, when I played this years and years and years ago for the first time, I brute forced the solution for this. So, because I didn't really understand the rules of chess, so I sat there for almost 40 minutes just trying every single combination I could think of until I eventually just brute forced it. So what you want to do, you want to put the pieces in situations where they I'm trying to remember, is it they put them in positions where they can attack every single red piece, or where they are safe from every single red piece? I think it's where they can attack every single red piece, or where, you know, you put them in a position where you could, in theory, if it was your turn on the board, use any one of them to take out any one of the red pieces.
That...
Nope, that's incorrect. I know what I'm doing wrong. There we go.
Senor Stobart, look!
What is that? It's not the Holy Grail, is it?
No, Senor Stobart. It is the communion chalice of the de Vasconcellos, missing for almost 700 years.
Wow. Well, go on.
I cannot. I can hardly believe it is real.
Go ahead. Live a little.
I'm sure. This is your moment of triumph, Senor Stobart.
Sure, I'm sure. The possibility of death traps only occurred to me a few days later.
Success.
So the curse of the de Vasconcellos is lifted?
Oh no. The Countess was thrilled to find the lost chalice. But there's still the riddle of the missing knight.
Well, you can forget about that now and get back to finding the Templars' secret.
Actually, I promised the Countess I'd find Don Carlos.
You what?
I can explain everything.
You have got the odds for a withered old Spanish aristocrat?
The Countess entrusted me with the chalice and the quest for her ancestor's tomb.
You're as crazy as she is. Haven't you got enough problems? Khan and the Templars?
It's all part of the same thing. The chalice is important, I'm sure. The manuscript pointed us to the knight, and I have to find him.
What then?
I don't know. But when the knight and the chalice are reunited, maybe I will.
Yeah, Nico. Chill out.
This is the chalice I discovered in Spain.
I still can't figure out why the Countess gave it to you. After losing it for all those years, she simply gave it away to a total stranger? She's one prawn short of a paella.
The Countess is a fine lady. You shouldn't compare her with seafood.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's something going on between you and that Countess.
Are you serious? She's old enough to be my grandmother.
You sound almost jealous, Nico. It's suspicious. Anyway, I think that's enough for this episode.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
Okay.
I'm gonna go and get this chalice examined. Someone who might know more about it. Come on. Okay, there we go. Let's get out of here.